Yes, you read that correctly. This is Sunday Gathering number 298. Welcome, friends, our global family. If we haven't yet met, I am Sandra, joined here by Kerry and Phil, and we have a special guest, Rosemary, with us, author of this beautiful book that I use every opportunity I can to show it off. That being said, each week for all these years now, we try to bring upliftment and inspiration and joy and empowerment, all these good things, as well as the great reality that we don't die, that our loved ones who may have passed from this earth are still alive and well, still part of our lives. We like to celebrate. Each time we're together, we have a different theme. We have a reading, we have an address, we have a medium demonstration, and it's all good. It is just all good and always leaves me with a big old smile on my face. One more quick announcement before we dive right in is, as of yesterday, our new film, which is called Evidence of the Afterlife, a documentary on the mediumship and teachings of Kerry and Phil, just went live on Apple TV. So it's a really big deal. It's been 2 years in the making. I know many of you have donated to make it possible, but it is finally out. So as it opens up on other venues, we will let you know, but you can watch it now on Apple TV. So I'm going to turn it over to Kerry, who is our chairperson for today, to describe our Sunday gathering and who's doing what role, etc. But let me be the first to welcome you. Over to you, Kerry.
Thank you very much. And it's a little bit surreal to say that the documentary film is on Apple TV. Who would have known it? Today, I was inspired probably about a week ago about spiritual inspiration. What motivates us, the songs, the films that get us back in touch with what's important. And I know that some of you shared some songs on the post that I placed on social media asking what song reminds you of your loved one. So the first song that we opened today, Rosemary provided with, and the second one I put on because my mum and I used to sing to that around the house all the time. We love the Carpenters. So today I'm soon going to be passing to Rosemary to do the opening prayer. Then Sandra is going to do the reading and healing. The address will be delivered by myself and then Phil and then Rosemary. The mediumship will be Phil and I, and then the words of the week, Phil, and then he's going to pass back to Rosemary to do the closing prayer. So I am now going to pass to Rosemary for the opening prayer.
Yeah. And Kerry, I just want to let everyone know it takes just a few seconds to get Rosemary's equipment all up and going. And friends, you might hear a few beeps. Rosemary's going to press her share screen button, and she did. You'll hear a few beeps, and then back to Rosemary for our opening prayer.
We come together once again to the Sunday gathering. It's our 90-minute haven away from the world's problems and from our own. Let our souls be moved by the music we hear today. Let our hearts be uplifted by the words of our panelists. And let the evidence and messages conveyed by our loved ones in spirit make us rejoice, for we know that they're here with us and that we would reunite with them someday. Amen.
Thank you, Rosemary. Beautiful words. All right. And now you have me for the reading. Spiritual Literacy Month is celebrated each December. This special observance was created in 1966, in fact, also the year I was created, by Frederick and Mary Ann Broussat. The Broussats introduced this celebration with a powerful aim to promote understanding and respect for different religions. They wanted to encourage us to explore spiritual texts from various faiths to foster a deeper appreciation for the many practices around the world. But perhaps their most beautiful teaching was the focus on recognizing the sacred in everyday life. They believed that spirituality is present in all aspects of life and that everyone can learn to see these signs. This month is a chance to broaden our perspective. And that brings me to a story about how we view those different faiths. So, journey back once upon a time. In a time before electric lights, there was a vast, dark forest. People from all different villages were trying to make their way through this darkness to reach the great hall at the center of the woods, a place they called sanctuary. Each village gave their travelers a lamp to light their way and celebrated their departure by lighting the flames. The travelers from the north carried heavy, sturdy lamps made of iron forged in fire. They said, "This iron is the only way to hold the light." The travelers from the east carried delicate, beautiful lamps made of paper and painted with intricate symbols. They said, "This paper is the only true vessel for the light." The travelers from the south carried lamps of clay, simple and earthy. They said, "This clay is the original holder of the light." And the travelers from the west carried lamps of colored glass, vibrant and bright. Of course, knowing too that their vessels are the only way to carry the light. As they all met on the path to the sanctuary, they began to argue. The iron lamp carriers told the paper lamp carriers their way was much too fragile. The glass lamp carriers told the clay lamp carriers their way was much too dull. They spent so much time arguing about the containers that they almost forgot to keep walking. But finally, they all arrived at their great hall sanctuary. One by one, they stepped inside. And in that beautiful sanctuary, something miraculous happened. As they entered the presence of the source, the containers, the iron, the paper, the clay, and the glass, they all became invisible. All that remained was their flames. When the travelers looked around, they gasped. They realized that while their lamps were all different shapes, sizes, and colors, the light inside them was exactly the same. It was the same fire. It was the same warmth. It was the same brilliance. The lamp was just the vehicle. The light was the truth. Now, what's the meaning, you wonder? My friends, this is what spiritual literacy is all about. It is realizing that the religions and beliefs of the world are just all different lamps. They are the containers we use to hold the divine, and they are all unique and beautiful. But the light, that is universal. We see this proven with the research of 50-year explorer Dr. Jeffrey Long. In near-death experiences, when people cross over and touch that light, they don't come back arguing about the shape of the lamp. They come back transformed by the light. They return more loving, more forgiving, and with a profound desire to be of service to others. That is true spirituality. It isn't about the label we wear. It's about the love we share. So this month, as we celebrate the holidays, let us appreciate all the different lamps we see in the world. But let us remember that our true job is simply to keep our own flame burning bright with kindness, forgiveness, and love. Because the light in me is the very same light in you. Thank you for listening to that. It is time to go into our healing and a beautiful song, Wind Beneath My Wings by Bette Midler. I'm sure you know it. But as that light is the same, we can also think of that wind beneath our wings, invisible, but oh, so real. During the song, it's an opportunity to send our loving prayers to all those in need. When the song is over, Kerry and Phil will start our address, and then we will turn it back to Rosemary. So let me play the song for you.
Isn't that just a beautiful song? There are times when we are often left wondering where people come from, where they go to, and have we spent that bit in the middle to the best of our ability? This month, with it being Spiritual Literacy Month, it seems very fitting that I invited an author, although she doesn't really want to be seen as an author, but she's written a book.
She wants to be called Trouble, though.
Yeah, well, you can introduce her as that. And as we read words or listen to words, because songwriters are authors as well in their own way, the songs that we listen to, the words that touch our hearts, have been moved through somebody in that moment of spiritual connectedness. Authors, writers, poets, that's you as well, Rosemary, painters, dancers, singers. We are all in our own way authors. And so when we look to speak about our lives, aren't we speaking about a spiritual experience? When we take on this human form, I'm sure when we discard this human form, we'll realize that that period that we called life was very small compared to the amount of time universally there is. Maybe that space beyond physical life doesn't have any time. Maybe we can't count things the way we do here. So those so many days, weeks, months, and years of our life become a one moment of experience. And I would imagine that when I get to the spirit world and I look back on my life, that I would want to be able to capture it and put pen to paper, figuratively speaking, and be the author of everything that I've experienced. Now, there are understandings out there that say that we're already the authors of our life before we come into this life. I don't know if I was clever enough to invent what I'm living now, but what I do know is that I am spiritually aware enough to appreciate every moment this life gives me. Now, at the start of my life that I became cognizant of, so maybe 3 or 4 years old when I began to build my memories, as I grew up and as I moved into adulthood, and even as I became a grown-up, I don't quite know when that happened. You might know. I know. I'm a grown-up, eh? When you became a grown-up, if somebody had said to you that the things that happened to you after that time would indeed happen, I wonder if you would have believed them. If somebody had said to me that you will have a documentary film where you represented a belief, a faith in life after physical death, and the things that you could do would validate and verify life after physical death, I would have said to them, what are you on? What sort of happy alcohol are you on to be able to imagine something like that? And yet, here we are. As of yesterday, evidence of the afterlife is on Apple television and probably on more platforms to come. Now, that film has been written, it's been choreographed, it's been designed, produced, and developed in a way that tells a story. Like many films and programs that you watch, some stories you pick because it just is some light relief from the seriousness of life. Others you watch to have ideas planted, and others you watch because it has a grain of truth to it that is planted that you can then grow from. Well, having seen evidence of the afterlife quite a number of times, I know for the people that I've witnessed watching it, that all three happened and more. Now, we only got back into the UK yesterday and I ordered Rosemary's book. And I'm sure when I read that, I will be able to understand life in a different way. Because from what I've heard, the poems in there create an understanding for everybody that reads it. So for today, or in the days to come, I truly hope that you find some inspiration that spiritually explores who you are and describes what you believe and what you understand. Thank you.
Where do I begin, ladies and gentlemen? Well, I think first of all, I need to say hello and good evening and good morning, wherever you are in the world. Words, Literacy Week, they affect us in different ways, don't they? We often think as we read books how it magically escapes us from this life, where it transports us to a different world, where we get to know the characters, we're taken to locations and we're part of that, if you will, enactment, whether it's poetry, whether it is a book, whether it is a story of life, whether it is a film. We, each of us, have an imagination within us that can and will transport us. It creates thoughts within our minds, impressions that we start to look forward to if we could create, inspire to be. And it's those books that cause that ignition within our soul, that soul that comes alive. And we, for those moments, shine brightly to our loved ones in the spirit world. I came from a place within this world that is not the most prosperous. It's a place that is now historic for being a market town. But yet, when I was growing up, I lived through words, I lived through books, I lived through films on TV, and I could imagine myself being the lead character. It transported me from the life that I led. And it's this that we can all relate to, not just through books and words, but even through songs. I noticed within the chats that as those songs were playing, people were saying that they were their favourites. Well, I would imagine they transported you back in time to cherish moments, moments you shared with loved ones that may be still here or may have moved on to the spirit world. When I was first introduced to that concept, because I didn't relate to music that way, it helped me go within, but I didn't have emotional ties to it. And it was Kerry sat at my side here that said, do you not remember certain times of your life? Do you not coordinate them to music? Do you not remember certain experiences? And I had to hold my hand up and say, no, I didn't see music like that. I liked the type of music that moved me in the moment and created inspiration within me and made me think a certain way. So I didn't relate to it in the way that Kerry did. And I'm sure With music, you relate to it in different ways, and with books and poetry, just like Rosemary's. So when Kerry said this week was about literacy and spiritualness and development, I said, well, can I speak my truth? And she said, I always want you to speak your truth. Well, hopefully that truth has come across, not just through my words here, but the way that I live my life. Those people that I call friends and those people that I meet, I hope you see those truths. And I hope the words within the film help inspire you to move you forward. And it's this understanding that we want you to have from today, that as you hear a piece of music and it transports you, whether into the future of ideas and aspirations you want to achieve, or whether you are reminded of experiences that are very sacred to you in your life, or whether it's a book that you read that you lose yourself in, or whether it's a film that you can escape life to as well. I'll hold my hand up. I'm guilty of the latter one. When I see a film, I'm caught within a few seconds by the words that are oriented on that film or the scenes that we first begin with. It catches my attention, and we're drawn into that character of that film. And you can see the twists, the turns, the eventualities, and the experiences. And I place myself there. And I get a view of life that is different. I gain a different perspective. Same with books, same with consciousness. If we're really honest today, we've got a lot of people that went before us that we need to thank for the things that we take for granted, like light bulbs and a telephone and movement of transport. At one time, all those things were impossible, but they were there in somebody's imagination. And through persistence, they were developed. And as we look at that, it got me to think that actually consciousness is only what we know from the books that we read, from the literacy that we pick up, from the creations that we see within this world. We deem them and we create that boundary there. But what happens if the last frontier of literacy or words is our own consciousness of what we can imagine to be real, to create? Now, there's a thought about a legacy we could all leave behind for other people to enjoy and aspire their minds to go even further. Isn't that job not just of a parent, but each and every one of us to inspire somebody in their journey to create something that is good, that helps everybody, not just the self, but from that creation, other people get an idea. Their imagination creates something more and takes us further. Is that not just the way of the world that we have today, that things are created, things move on, and better things are produced? Through literacy, through words, through music, through lyrics. This is what we're hoping for everybody. And these are my thoughts as I put them together, and hopefully they inspire you to do something great. Before I pass over to Rosemary, these last few thoughts of what was the last book that you read? What did it cause within you? What was the last piece of music that you heard? What stirred emotionally within you? Where was your mind taken? What is it that we can do in this moment is live that moment and make that moment a reality. Don't wait for tomorrow. Do it right now. Thank you for listening.
We just got some beeps and bops from Rosemary till your dress starts. Mhm.
Hi, everyone. Thanks so much to Sandra, Phil, and Kerry for inviting me here. I'm so honored to be a part of the Sunday Gathering address. Phil and Kerry are a tough act to follow, but as my motto goes, I love challenges. Today, I'll recite 2 poems. I started writing poetry when I was around 12 years old. I don't know what inspired me to start writing, or rather typing. In grade school, I had occupational therapy sessions. In fact, an occupational therapist named Mrs. Salisbury introduced me to the head pointer, the helmet with the protruding metal stick that you see on my head. So, Mrs. Salisbury let me practice using the head pointer on an electric typewriter. Yes, I'm dating myself, being around way before computers existed. After practicing typing my name and simple sentences, I started typing feelings in a poetic form. I had no idea how I knew how to put words in a poetic form. I guess this was my first experience with inspired writing. I remember the first poem I wrote. Very short, but somewhat meaningful. If I were a bird, I would fly up high and reach the sky. If I were a bird, I would fly to every country I could find. That's what I would do if I were a bird. Eventually, my poetry became deeper and lengthier. I wrote poems about negative and positive feelings. When I was a teenager, poetry was a great way to express frustration and sadness. I also have given my poems as greetings and gifts to friends and family. A few years after I started developing my mediumship, I tried to transform readings into poems, poetic mediumship, I guess you'd call it, which can be very hard when the recipient isn't in front of me. When I do a face-to-face or Zoom-to-Zoom reading, there's energy from the recipient, from me, and from the spirit communicator. Instead, this energy is lacking while doing poetic mediumship. I also don't get the yes/no validation that you get during live readings. Regardless, writing a poem is very similar to giving a reading. My body and mind have to be completely calm, in that zone where nothing is bothersome. Then words just seem to flow from me. Like doing mediumship readings, writing poems requires feeling, not thinking. If I think too much, then the words would be forced, causing the poem to not sound right. Just like mediumship, composing a poem is spirituality, the topic of today's Sunday gathering. Finding words for poetry requires a connection to one's soul, to self. If that connection is solid, then I become emotional, sometimes even crying. If a poem touches the poet, then it probably will move the reader or stir the soul, as I like to say. Oddly enough, many of my poems include the words soul and spirit. This is purely unintentional. In fact, I try not to include these words in every poem I write to avoid redundancy. I, along with other poets probably, feel spirituality most when they write about grief or about coping with it. The first poem that I'll read is called Uncaged Spirits. I wrote it for my mother's funeral. A web of reflection going every which way. Through openings I see gray days and blue haze. I continue to climb in every direction, looking for a way out. Vibrant roses camouflaged as ugly weeds. Running rivers flowing from dried dams. I keep reaching for the next spiral, awing at its fragility. As I fall through, the brightest light guides to the familiar present or the unknown future, blindly following. I cannot become entangled in this life anymore. It's time for my spirit to soar, flying free as it always has been meant to be, free to come to thee whenever you think of me, and I will come through. A familiar song, a rare bird, or a gentle breeze. No more suffering, no more pain. I'm now energy, beaming through your heart, shining through your soul. I have escaped my earthly cage to glide evermore. See me through your mind's eye. I'm always there. The second poem that I'll read is called A Life of Mine. I wrote this before my soulmate passed. A life of mine is ending, most beautifully with nothing but joy and love. I have reaped much from this life, laughter and growth from each strife, strength to face each day. Compassion embraces me in every way, with gratitude more immense than the stars above, for everything this precious life has bestowed, as it is contentedly pending. Its soul to be set free, its spirit will yet live within my heart, for there it shall never depart. Thanks so much for all of you for listening. I turn it back to Sandra to liven it up.
That's me livening it up. Thank you so much, Rosemary. And for all of you who had asked, this is her book, Soul of a Rose. And if we could all just press our raise hand button just as a clap for Rosemary, round of applause. It's the only way we can hear you is that raise hand button. And we got lots of them up, Rosemary. Thank you so much. We'll hear back from Rosemary for our closing prayer. So we are going to go on now to our demonstration of mediumship. And this is an opportunity for us all to be aware of just how close our loved ones are. That being said, there will be some members of our congregation here that will get readings today. But I do believe 100% that those who bring through the messages, they really are for all of us. So hopefully you gleaned a little something from my reading, from Rosemary's address and Phil and Kerry's address. And I do think if we listen in close enough, we'll hear in those readings just like, hey, I could use a little bit of that myself, or we'll witness just how close our loved ones are. I know we have several people that are brand new here on our Sunday gathering, and we have some repeaters as well. So I'll just go through this lightly just to refresh your memory. Kerry or Phil are our mediums, and they will work with the spirit world. Now, there's going to be a person in the unseen world that's going to step forward in whichever way they'd like to Kerry or Phil. They use their feelings, their memories, thoughts, pictures, maybe even smells and tastes, maybe even songs. You never quite know how we describe ourselves when we cross over. So Kerry or Phil will give a description of the person who has stepped forward. Now, the one thing that they have, two things they have in common. One is that they no longer breathe here on planet Earth. They have passed physically. But the other thing that they have in common is that they are connected somehow to one of us. All right. So they could be friends, they could be family members, they could be somebody you worked with, could be somebody distant from childhood. We never know exactly how they're going to work. So we want everybody to be on the edge of your seat. And as you hear the description that Kerry or Phil gives about the person in spirit, if you can understand all the information that they shared and you go, hey, I know that person, we want you to press your raise hand button. Now, I know I just asked you to press that raise hand button in honor of Rosemary, but if you want to play with it a little bit now, just to see, it'll say raise hand, and then it turns to lower hand. Why this is important. First, we ask you to just raise your hand if you can accept all the information. We're close to 150 people here today, so you can imagine what would happen if everybody can just take a little piece. We might get 150 hands up. So we don't want that. So just press your raise hand button if you can understand everything. It does happen often that two or more people can take all the information. So Kerry or Phil, they'll continue to give evidence, give information. If all of a sudden you say, "Ooh, that doesn't fit anymore," be kind and just press your lower hand button. That being said, do our loved ones only show up for our Sunday gatherings? No. They can multitask when they're in spirit world. They can easily just pop over and be with us, and then they can go back to investigating the Grand Canyon or Niagara Falls or wherever they wish to be. So they are part of our life. They're part of our lives now. They're beautiful when they come through in our readings. So again, everybody pay attention. If you can recognize the person in full, press your raise hand button. If something no longer fits, lower your hand. If you are someone who works with our medium today, or you work with any medium having a reading anytime from this moment on, let them do the work. Your job is easy. As they give evidence and information, just say yes, no, or I don't know. Please don't feel bad if something isn't a fit. Kerry and Phil teach in their classes. No simply means new opportunity. So your job, just say yes, no, or I don't know. Let the medium do the work, bringing through the information. And as with most medium readings, the rest of us can feel the joy of those in spirit being with us. So again, the people that step forth are on behalf of all of our loved ones in the spirit world. And what is everybody going to do? Just like me, you're going to pull the readings towards you, witnessing just how close our loved ones are to our life. And if there's a bit of a message that comes through that you say, "Oh, I could use a little bit of that," take it on board. I do think that they're cleverly designed for all of us. That being said, we love to hear a feel-good piece of music before we start our demonstration. Today is no different. Kerry has picked Jason Mraz, Have It All. So sit back, feel the joy. I always personally imagine all my loved ones just packed in here with a little song in their step, and my dad clapping his hands. He's always one half beat off, so I picture him here, everybody smiling, all looking at the screen. You can do whatever you want, but please know your loved ones are with us and with you, and you are loved. So let me play the song, and we'll be right back with the demonstration. So sorry, gang. I knew full well what the song was, but I had butterflies in my stomach, and that was the song we heard last week. But I was doing a little dancing. So my apologies. Human after all.
Absolutely. It happens to us all, Sandra. We have one thought in our mind and it just goes out and something else comes out of the mouth whatsoever. Because I know I was like during the address, I was planning on and it just went and something different came, sort of thing. So yes, we know you're human. And I actually said to Kerry, I said, "I thought we're having something different." And she said, "No, this is the one I picked." That's fine.
It was actually picked by Tim Southwell.
Thank you, Tim.
Okay. Good. Thank you, Tim. There you go. Happy memories brought back. Anyway, I'm going to be working first. So let's see what's happening. So, okay, thank you. So as I become aware of the spirit world, I know I have a gentleman. I know his name is George. I also believe I want to talk about him being husband. I also feel with him, he's got a real live sense of humor as well, a little bit quirky. But I also feel as well, there would be memories of him being a little bit worse for wear, a little bit of alcohol. I do believe it would be wine. I do believe he would be a little bit of a connoisseur. And I also feel that he would have his own little bit of a collection of wine. And I'm not sure if actually I belong to a wine club as well.
Thank you very much. If you can understand this information, go ahead and press your raise hand button. And I'm happy to report we have Maggie with her hand raised. Maggie, if you can find that unmute button, that should pop up. Hi, Maggie.
Hiya.
Welcome.
Hello, Maggie. I do know you, and it just come back to my mind now. Okay, so I'm going to ask for other information, but you understand everything I've said so far?
Yes.
Okay, and would you understand where he did like a good wine?
Oh, absolutely.
And if I also said he liked little shorts as well, but I don't feel it was just whiskey, would it be right in saying he would either drink port as well?
From time to time.
Because I know here he brings my awareness too, but it feels like I want to only drink that kind of thing when I'm abroad.
Yeah.
Yeah, because again, but I also feel here, I feel with your husband, he would be quite a, how can I put, quite an adventurous man. He's not somebody to turn a challenge down.
Absolutely.
And I also feel that he didn't have an ego either. He could make a fool of himself as long as he was enjoying himself.
Very easily.
Because I know here, and I know my mind keeps on going back to the Bee Gees and singing there. He must have also sung or tried to imitate things like that as well, or enjoy the music.
Yes, you would do. Yeah.
And would I be right in saying there should be memories of you and him on a dance floor?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Because I know there's a sense here, and if I oh my word, he's doing the John Travolta thing, so I know he would be a good dancer in the sense of being out there doing, but he would throw his humor in there as well with the John Travolta moves.
Yes, you would.
Because I get this sense that he was larger than life as well. But
Yeah.
I also believe that he could be a very serious man though as well.
Oh, very serious. Yes.
And would I be right in saying, I know there's little bits I know, like he was a healer, but would I be right in saying within that work he was connected to hospitals and Wigan
Yes.
Infirmary in
Yes.
particular? That's
Yes.
fine, because I know here my dad spent a lot of time in there and I'm seeing the wards as well. But I don't just feel it was to do with the healing. He must have either done psychology or some kind of understanding of that area.
I'm not sure about that, but he would have used his psychology to help.
Okay, that's fine because I know he's quite serious with things as well.
Mm.
But thank you. My word. He was a man though that liked to present himself really well.
Yes.
And I know the sayings of things in the UK, you can tell a man by his shoes. So I know he would always polish his shoes and make sure they look right.
Yeah, after a fashion.
Okay, because I know he makes me aware of these, but I also feel as well that he liked to be comfortable and he would like his loafers. I think
Yeah.
that's what they're
Yeah.
called. Yep.
Yeah.
But I also feel here, even though he liked to be smartly dressed, he
Yes.
was or could be quite casual, and some of the things didn't really match.
Yes, there's a time of that.
And would I be right in saying there's memories being on holidays where he would wear sandals and socks?
Oh, yes, the odd time. Yeah.
Because I made a comment about somebody I saw when we've just come away from thinking that doesn't look right, but I know he plays this within my mind as well. But I also know that he could be quite clever and intelligent with his words.
Oh, yes. Very
And I
much.
know he could make little ditties up, especially for you.
Hmm. Not
And I
sure.
do believe this is when he was having a little bit of fun and he's a little bit of worse for wear with the wine.
Yeah, he'd tease me.
Because I know there's this sense as well with him. But I also know he was fascinated by things like ships in bottles and things.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Bear with me because there's just something here. I know there's connections to sailing with him, but there must be where he bought little souvenirs from abroad, like little ships in bottles for jokes or things for people.
He was connected with sailing. I don't remember any ships and bottles.
Okay, then would I be right in saying that it's not just about the ships in bottles, but it would be about little, I'm going to use this word, tacky little things. Do you understand where I'm going?
Yeah,
That's fine because I know I couldn't. I know I'm. It's almost like I want to buy things as little jokes for people as well.
yeah.
Because that's what he brings my mind to. But I want to say this. He loves you very, very much. I know you still talk to him. And I also know he is around you. And I know this time of year is not the brightest for you, he says, but I'm here by your side and I'm aware of your and you must have, I'll keep this polite as I can, you must have either stroked the pillow that he would where he would lay and acknowledge him just recently.
Yeah, I
Because I
felt it.
know he's okay, because I know he says I was with you and I saw you doing that. And you must say good night to him as well.
Oh, yes.
Because
Always.
he says this is what it's all about. He wants you to know, as he was when he was here, you're still doing the same things as well. And you've been looking to decorate just recently as well.
It's been on my mind, yes.
Okay, because I know he says, and he takes me into the conservatory above the window. There must be either a watermark or something, and he's talking about painting over it.
Oh God, I haven't seen the watermark, but it needs clear.
Okay, well, he could be a little bit of a perfectionist with things, couldn't he?
Oh yes, oh
Because
yes.
I know this is what he brings to mind. So I'm going to leave his love with you, knowing that he's with you 24/7. And I know he's aware of those conversations and actions as well. And you must still have Christmas cards that he gave you as well.
Oh God. Yeah, I've got something. Gosh, that I've
Because
stashed
I
them.
know here he mentions them about getting them out as well. So I'm going to leave you with that and
Right.
say thank
It's
you very much, Maggie.
yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. It means so much. Thank
You're
you.
absolutely welcome. You're absolutely welcome. That's fine. Good. Okay. So as I become aware of the spirit world once more, oh my word, that's fine. Thank you. I've got the impression that I do feel it's somebody's mother. I know she was a school teacher, and I know she seemed to specialize with the younger children as well. I also keep on in fact, there's forgive me, ladies and gentlemen, my jet lag's kicking in. There's a few names where I'm missing them. I'm just asking for them again, but I know I'm going to start again. So I know I have mum. I know she was a school teacher. I know she would have worked with the younger children. It feels like I want those infants, that sort of age. I know there should be a memory of where she either worked. I'm sure it's either a private or a exclusive school at one time as well, because I can see this very plush uniform, and I also get the impression with mum that it's either a cancer that takes her to the spirit world, but I also feel I want to acknowledge the name of Jean as well, the name of Jean.
Thank you so much, Phil. Friends, if you can understand this information, go ahead and press, you know what to do, that raise hand button for us. Sherry Ann has her hand raised. Sherry Ann, you should see an unmute button now. If you could press that for us. Oh, and I see Julie has her. Oh, Julie's hand went down. Hi, Sherry Ann.
Hi.
Hi,
Hello,
welcome.
Sherry Ann. Do you understand what I've said?
Yeah, it was you just taken me a little bit. It's just um some of it I do. Some of it I
Okay.
do. Could you just repeat again
I
for
will
me?
repeat for you. So I do believe I have mum. I do believe she would be a school teacher. You understand so far?
No,
No,
no.
that's fine. Okay, that's fine because I know it's the school teacher I want.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, we have Julie and
Let's bring
also
Julie in.
Linda. Okay,
Okay.
Julie, if you can find that unmute button. Hi, Julie.
Hi. Hi.
Hello, Julie. Do you
Um,
understand everything I've said?
every I do. I do. My mom's name was Jean. She passed away, and I was did the little ones, taught little ones. So
Ah,
I just
okay.
thought I
Forgive me, my jet lag kicked in because I know there was things and I misunderstood, so I tried to get it in order. So you understand your mum, she was called Jean, but it's you that was the school teacher.
yes, I work with little ones. Yes, I used
That's
to.
that's fine. Okay. And would you understand with your mum, she was a very strong-minded lady,
Yes.
and she liked etiquette and things done properly.
Yes.
Because I want to get everything in order, and it feels like I've got a little bit of a telling off from her with it because I've got things messed up. But I know here that was her mindset. But I also feel there was a little bit of confusion in her mind before she passed as well, Julie.
Right before.
That's fine because I know here I'm still a little bit confused in the way that I'm trying to put everything together. But I know with your mum, integrity was a big thing.
She was a noble woman.
Because
Yes.
it's just the way that I have to explain it. Integrity is a big thing, and I also know, forgive me, also feels like I not just integrity and as your words noble, but I actually feel the way that she would speak had to be done properly as well. Everything had to be just so.
Mm, I'm, I don't remember that her
Bear
being
with
that
me
way.
because it just feels here where either there was I've either got it's either to do with pronunciation. I've got to speak clearly. Do you understand that? Please say
She
no if you
did
don't.
speak clearly. Yeah, I don't remember. I mean, she wasn't the grammar police or anything like
Okay,
that
I'm
at
not
all.
saying she was, but I know it had to be done She likes, it's
She was.
almost that's fine. It's very much where I want to say that she liked that one-on-one conversation. She liked to know things in detail.
Yes.
And I know that family was a big thing for her, and she liked to have that time beforehand.
Yes.
Would I be right in saying that either just before she passed or for a period of time, we didn't see each other?
Right before she passed. Yeah, yes.
That's
I
fine,
lived
because
with
I
her.
know here
Yeah.
she brings this to mind, and I want to say, you must have been with her though when she did pass.
Not at the moment of passing, but
Not at,
not at the moment, but I was the one around her. Yes.
that's fine, because I know it's just her mindset. I'm trying to really get to grips with it, because I know she wants me to be really clear. And I get the impression as well, that either people, I know I said to you about there was that distance, but would you understand where there was other people in the family she was distant from?
Yes.
Because I know here she's acknowledging other people here as well. And there seems to be this sense with her of either not getting time to speak to them or get to meet them before she passed as well.
Yes.
And I know words are important, and to let people know that she fully understands. Your mum was quite selfless as well.
Yes.
Your mum didn't carry any grudges. It's this sense of life's too short.
Yes.
And I also feel where and like I said, she's quite selfless, where there's other people that wanted to visit, didn't get there, and it's playing on their minds. And she says, let them know it's absolutely fine.
Okay. Yes.
And
Okay.
and would I be right in saying you still have mum's paperwork as well?
Yes.
And some of this paperwork is letters from earlier days.
Yes.
And also you must have the old photographs that belong to her as well.
Yes.
And your mum was very sentimental. She didn't like to throw any keepsakes away, such as cards and little gifts and things.
Yes. Yes.
Because I know here she says they're all important. The little things mean the most. And I know Kerry talked about literacy. I know your mum liked nice words that were written on her behalf. And I also know she even kept things from your school days that you
Yes.
made for her. And again, it was about
Yes.
the words. And she must have sat with you and helped you learn to write as well.
Yes.
And it's she must have been, that's fine. There seems to be this impression where she taught you not just the writing but the joined up writing,
Yes.
and she was proud of you, and in a way she's taking responsibility or the pride of knowing you went into teaching because of the way that she raised you.
Hmm.
And
I didn't
that
know that, but
nurture that
thank you.
okay,
Yes.
but I know here's that sense as well. And I know I said to Maggie just before that she still speaks to her husband, but you still speak to your mum as well.
I do.
And I know you've acknowledged her today in some way. Your thoughts went to her because this is why she's come forward for you right now as well. Thank you. Would I be right in saying that your mum used to keep photo albums?
Yes.
And
Many,
what
many,
I
many.
don't say anymore. Would I be right in saying that you've got some, but other family members have got some of the others?
I have all of them.
Oh, you've got all of them because I know here. But somebody must have wanted or been asking for photographs of your mum.
No.
Hmm. Can you remember I've mentioned that because I know your mum's quite fixed on that as well. Like I said earlier, she likes things done her way, and that's fine. Um, Thank you. There must be memories of where we used to go either to a cabin in the woods near the hills or mountains at one time as well?
No, there's not. No,
And we never used to own a cabin or anything.
no cabin, no.
No, she's absolutely adamant here. Thank you. Better. She also gives me the name of Pine Ridge. There should be memories to Pine Ridge.
Pine Ridge. I don't know.
Would I be right? Because I'm not going to let go of this, where there is photographs of holidays that we have.
Yes. Oh, yes.
And I want to say, and the way that she's showing me this to me is when you were very young, there should be memories of going to a place that was in the pine forest. And I'm not sure if it's a cabin or some kind of lodge. And I know she takes me back there, but she acknowledges photographs from way back that should be kept and known about. I know there's the photo albums, but would I be right in saying there's loose photographs as well?
Everywhere. Yes.
Because I know there should be photographs in that. So I'm going to leave that with you there, but know that
Okay.
she's very, very proud of how you've turned out and for that teaching that you did as well.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. That was
You're
great.
absolutely welcome. But I know she's still with you because she keeps on trying to get your attention. I'm just catching things now. I'm understanding her. It's almost where she's trying to get her voice directly to you, Julie. So I'm going to leave that with you and say thank you very, very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's been an absolute pleasure. I'm going to hand over to Miss Kerry McLeod.
It is a pleasure to be here, and thank you, Rosemary, for part of that beautiful address. Thank you very much. It isn't often we hear your voice, and it's wonderful to be able to see and understand what goes on in your mind to create the poetry as well. But as Phil was working there, I was trying to figure out what I was being shown. I know I have a gentleman with me, and I do feel like he would be son, or I do feel he would be son. And one of you would have a memory of your son bungee, the word went from me there, bungee jumping off a very high bridge, a very high bridge. It looks similar to the bridge that we were on for the documentary. Where's that over?
Rio Grande.
I don't believe it is the Rio Grande Bridge, but you would have met, he did not pass via this, but you would know your son jumped off a bridge on a bungee jump. Does this
Thank
make
you,
sense?
Kerry.
Oh, I hope this makes sense to somebody.
Who can understand this information? Press your raise hand button. No hands up just yet, Kerry.
Would somebody in our audience know, well, they would know, if they jumped off a bridge with a bungee rope? Why anybody would want to do that, I don't know, but
Do we have a member of our audience today who has jumped off, done bungee jumping off a bridge? Now, Mina, I see that you put in a name of a bridge. Does that apply to you, Mina? Or you know someone? No, she's just saying a high bridge. Okay, thank you.
I can't
Okay.
get away from.
Kat, you have your hand raised. If you can press that unmute button. Hi, Kat.
Hi. I didn't jump off a bridge. My husband did. Bungee jumped.
And Kat, would you understand son in the spirit world?
Son, no.
Kat, would your husband be in the spirit world?
He is.
Okay. Because I know very clearly then your husband must be game for anything then.
He could have, yeah.
Because I feel like he is joking with me here. He is very youthful in his outlook. If he was told to do not to do something, he would be able to muster up the courage to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel too, Kat, with your husband, that he must have been a bit of a joker as well.
Yes.
Because I have the sense with him that even he got to the edge of whatever jump this was, and had to, he had a doubt about it. He thought twice about it, but then went. This was a very high bridge, though, Kat.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it feels like it's over the Grand Canyon or over the Rio Grande, or it's incredibly high. I want to say with your husband, he must have Kat, would you understand it, brother in the spirit world as well?
Yes.
And your brother and your husband would have been very different in personality. Because I've got your brother here, he feels a bit more serious.
No.
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 Then just let me understand this with him. Then, would you, I'm trying to understand what your brother is giving me. You and your brother at times must have not completely saw eye to eye.
Yes.
Okay, because I know he's gone serious on me. There's a sense of him wanting to be, not to be the joker, not to be the one that just throws caution to the wind. I know there's a serious of a sense of seriousness with him. I know too with your brother that he found it very difficult to be present in the moment when he needed to be.
Okay.
Because I get this incredible feeling from him, Kat, that he's due you an apology. I feel like he wishes to apologize to you. I also get a sense that he could, you know, these people that throw in the grenade and walk away and go, what? I feel like your brother could have, figuratively speaking, have created discord, but then not owned his responsibility in that.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
There, with your brother, there is an apology here, and it feels like he didn't do something or did something that then created a gap within the family.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because I know that he is apologizing for that. I also know that your husband is there with your brother. I know that there may not have been a great understanding of one another, but I do know that your husband and your brother are absolutely together. And I know that any misunderstandings are not there at the moment. But I need to say too, your husband wants to let you know that this morning you must have gone out and about near where your husband and you would have walked.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I know he was in the car, he was with you, he heard your thoughts. I know that you took that time out, your husband shares with me, because you were looking for that time out. He is with you, Kat. He is very much aware of your thoughts and your need for him to be close to you right now. Please take your brother's love and joyfulness, but also his apology, but your husband's love, and to let you know that he is very close. Whatever he saw going on in the family very recently, he's got his eye on it for you. Does that make sense, Kat?
I'm not sure what you mean recently.
You must have, when you went out for that walk, you must have been thinking through something that you're trying to get to grips with or be sure how to word it.
Yes.
Okay, this is your husband's way of saying, I hear your thoughts, I am there. If you could imagine how your husband would have dealt with it, then he is there helping you put together some response.
Thank you.
Please know this is his way of letting you know he's not very far away at all. He's always with you. I'm going to say thank you for allowing me to do that, Kat, for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Kerry.
Okay. I do believe I have daughter. I do believe that daughter would have been an adult, and I get the sense that she would have had a position of authority within her workplace, and I get the sense that there would have been teaching with her. I feel like she would have worked in a college or higher education, and I feel there is a position of authority with her in this workplace. So she must have moved through this teaching role. Would this make sense to somebody in our audience?
Regina has her hand raised, and Pete. You have two.
And both
Hello?
of them understand this to be daughter.
Regina?
Yes.
Yes.
No.
And no for Pete. Okay.
Okay. So, Regina, your daughter would have been in the teaching profession.
She worked at a college and I was a
Okay.
teacher.
Okay. So with your daughter, she must have had a senior role where she worked.
Yes.
Because I feel actually that I've got my eye on everything. We know we do that with our kids, but I know there's a sense of her having her eye on everything that happened. There must have been some policy or procedure that she was in charge of as well, reviewing them.
I don't know. She was not a teacher, but she worked in like the, what do you call it? Marketing and things like
Okay,
that.
then there must have been things that it feels like procedures. It feels like there are procedures still being used in her workplace that she would have created or reviewed. And you would still live near that place that your daughter worked.
Not super near, but not far.
Oh, because then you must have driven past there or been close to that college.
Yes.
I know she gives me this impression of she was with you as you're traveling. I know too with your daughter that she had an incredibly intelligent mind and she would always find a way of being able to rationalize things to share them with people.
Yes.
I know too with her, you still have some of the brochures or some of the magazines that she created.
Yes.
And within those, there's some subjects that she would have actually designed some of the pictures on.
Yes.
And in some of those magazines, your daughters, or in one of those, creations, your daughter's face is in that as the creator?
I don't know. I guess.
Even TV interviews.
I need to say with your daughter that she was well known within that college.
I don't know. I don't think so.
I get this impression with your daughter that she's acknowledging that her face has been seen, that she has
Wow.
been that more than just you guys have seen her face on a magazine or a paper.
Okay, I know what you're talking about. My
Okay, because
son-in-law, my
okay,
son-in-law has created a holiday event in her honor, and he just published it on the Facebook and
okay, because
newspaper.
then there must be lots of different people, not just family, that would be able to see this. Because I know whatever that says, she's incredibly touched by that. I know I heard a gentleman's voice. Would this be Dad?
Yes,
Because I know that I want to say hi, Dad. I know I want to say that you have. Is it okay to speak to you, Dad?
Okay, I'm here.
Okay. Okay, I know that you've heard your daughter's voice.
Yes.
I know I need to say to you, you didn't imagine me. It was actually my voice that you heard. I know too that you have some videos of your daughter singing as well.
Yes.
yes.
Because I can hear her singing and saying they've heard me singing as well. I also need to say that beautiful little voice there too. That little voice has also seen your daughter. The person that's there with you has also seen your daughter.
Yes.
This is her son.
It's her son.
Okay, I need to say that the amount of love coming from your daughter is incredible to her son, but also to you guys, because, oh, I feel her emotion for what you have done to keep me alive, for what you have done to keep my memory, to keep the pictures, to talk about your daughter. Please know I'm speaking as if I'm her because I can feel her so, so close.
Yes.
Thank you.
Her picture in your room fell over. I want to say it didn't have a frame on it. It was just a photograph and it fell over.
Um,
I don't.
I don't think so.
Then if it hasn't happened, there's a photograph that's curling because it's not in a frame.
Yes.
I'm not allowed to tell the future, but
I'm
just
fixing
keep
to
your
go
eyes
look
on
in the
it.
other room.
Keep your eyes open between now and Christmas because I think it's going to be her little gift for you.
Thank you.
I'm going to say thank you very much. I wish you all the best for the holiday season. Please know your daughter and your grandson's mum is not very far at all. I'm going to say thank you very much for letting me do that.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, everybody. From Phil and I, we know that this time of year is a challenge, but hopefully what we have presented to you today has allowed some form of healing to happen within your hearts and your minds.
Thank you so much, Kerry, and thank you, Phil. That was very, very, very touching. All right, some announcements I have for you guys and gals. I know we never want the medium demonstration to end, so good news. In just 35 minutes time, I'll be joined by medium Chris Jacobs for a 90-minute medium demonstration. So you're welcome to join us for that. When I'm done with the announcements, I'll put the link in the chat box if you'd like to join us. You have to register first, but it's there for you. Also, it's not too late to join our classes that just began last week on Monday and with Scott Milligan for Trance in the Altered States. Kerry and Phil's newest class is The Gentle Path to Spirit. Wonderful opportunity to just learn how close our loved ones are and practice that psychic and mediumistic muscle. If this is your first time seeing Kerry and Phil, they're lovely people, they're fun, they're loving, and they make the road very joyful. And I think it's nice to stay plugged into something, especially going into the holidays. You might have heard them mention our newest film documentary, Evidence of the Afterlife. It just hit Apple TV yesterday. So it's a big, big, big deal. It really is. It is comforting. It is educational. It touches your heart with the medium demonstrations and so much more. So if you make your way over to Apple TV and just type in Evidence of the Afterlife, or you can go to Kerry and Phil's website, which is mymediumship.com. There's a little pop-up on the page, and if you press the little Apple insignia, it'll take you to the film. But there's so many wonderful things to explore there, not just their classes, but they've got some meditations and some downloads and so much more. That's all at mymediumship.com. Coming up this week, besides classes, Friday, our friend Scott Milligan is back for In the Arms of Eternity. It's a sitting for healing followed by a trance medium demonstration where we get to ask a friend questions in the spirit world. Next Sunday, mediums and advanced grief recovery specialists, Kath and Mitch Shirley, will be joining us for the free Sunday gathering. So you can register for that as well. Of course, registration can be found at wedon'tdie.com. You can click on the Sunday gathering page or the store page or the home page. You know me, I like to share it everywhere. Also, I've got some great new episodes on my We Don't Die podcast. You can meet a psychologist, Dr. Jan Canty, and her reasons to believe in the afterlife. Pretty great. I love hearing from professionals in science and medicine and mind and all of that, reasons to believe. And all good things, like I said, wedon'tdie.com. A shout out to our friends who have made our Sunday gathering possible. You know who you are. And we thank you for your donation. Things get expensive and we do appreciate it. It does help pay for all of it. So if you ever feel inclined to donate, you can do that at the Sunday gathering page at wedon'tdie.com. I think that's it. You know, you'll be hearing about the film every week when we're together. And I'll also have it on my website very, very, very soon. And I'm going to pass it over to Phil, and then I'll put the link if you'd like to join us for Chris Jacobs in the chat box. Over to you, Phil.
Thank you very much, Sandra. Again, the theme of spiritual literacy this week is absolutely phenomenal. But don't just let it be in words or books. Let it be your words. Let it be your actions. Let it be you dancing to that music and making memories for somebody else. Cherish every moment and let your words inspire others as well. Whether you're inspired by films, by song, by books, create them, make them, live them. I'm going to leave you with that. I'm going to hand over to our wonderful Rosemary, aka Trouble, to do the closing prayer.
I know Rosemary had an issue earlier with her computer freezing up. So we'll just be patient. No worries, Rosemary.
We thank the higher power you believe in for experiencing spirituality in different forms. We heard it through music and words. We felt it through our loved ones in spirit. May we come away today continuing to feel this glow within us. May we cherish our time together on the Sunday gathering, that its harmony will linger on throughout the week. Amen.
Thank you so much, Rosemary, for being our special guest today, and Kerry and Phil as well for being here. Don't you just feel the love, everybody? Well, with that, we're going to play our closing song. I have it right this time. It is the Beatles' Blackbird, also recommended by somebody in our community. Beautiful. Friends, we'll see some of you in a half hour, and the rest we'll see one of the classes or next Sunday. Thank you for being here, everyone. Thank you, Rosemary. Thank you, Kerry. Thank you, Phil. Thank you, everyone. Go have a great week. Bye.